and welcome to F YouTube, the segment that's all about you, being really effed off. First up tonight, it's Tanya.
I recently purchased a mobile phone from Woolworths.
Ah yes, Woolies, the fresh phone people. I wonder what went wrong.
Next, please.
I bought a fresh phone 2 days ago. Now look at it.
Tanya got a $35 plan with handset for one of her kids. But while her family was on holiday over Christmas, she missed a couple of monthly payments. Not long after they got back though.
$70 was paid, so we were up to date.
But even though Tanya was happy to continue on the plan,
My plan had been cancelled and that I was to pay out the remainder of the plan.
Woolies told Tanya she had to pay their early termination charge, a cancellation fee where you pay out the unpaid number of months remaining on a 24-month contract. Now, telcos are actually allowed to charge cancellation fees, but the Telco Ombudsman, the TIO, has a very clear position on them.
Any charge for terminating a contract should reflect a genuine loss to the provider.
And where it doesn't,
The provider will not be able to enforce the charge.
genuine loss to a business is hard to gauge from the outside. But Woolies should be experts in genuine loss. After all, they are the biggest owner of pokies in the country.
So much fresh food.
Unlike with pokies, Woolies is by no means the biggest or the worst offender on cancellation fees for mobile plans. Many telcos still charge them. And actually, we think changes to Woolies plans over time support our view that telco cancellation fees are often more about money grabbing than mitigating genuine losses. The Woolworths cancellation fee used to charge you 100% of the remaining months. In early 2017, they dropped it to 50%. And then in October 2017, they dumped the cancellation fee for new customers only. Now, you just have to pay for the month you cancelled, plus anything else you owe, including on your handset, which is fair enough. Of course, it's possible that cancellation fees really do recover genuine losses, and Woolworths just dump them out of the goodness of their hearts.
So many hearts.
But we think it's more likely that Woolies dropped their cancellation fees, like many telcos have, at least in part because they didn't reflect genuine losses. So if a telco tries to slug you with a cancellation fee for ending your mobile contract, it may well be worth disputing. That's what Tanya did. Her plan had a 50% cancellation fee. She complained to the TIO, which is free and can be a very efficient, if boring, way to sort things out.
Oh, come on!
When Tanya complained to the TIO, Woolies Mobile, through their customer advocate, quickly backed down. Tanya was happy with the result. Woolies wiped the cancellation fee, saying it was a gesture of goodwill.
I got a gesture of goodwill.
So remember, just because a fee is explained clearly in a consumer contract, that doesn't mean a business can enforce that fee against you. They'll probably try to convince you to pay it. They might tell you worrying things about debt collectors and your credit rating, like they did to Tanya.
That it would go to an outside debt collector company.
But that was not true at the time. A bill may be overdue, but you're not in default until it's 60 days overdue. And defaults under $150 cannot go on your consumer credit report. Now, you shouldn't just ignore cancellation fees, either dispute them or arrange to pay them. But consumers have rights, even when valid debts are being pursued. For more, check out the checkout story at thecheckout.tv/debt collectors. And remember, most telcos, except of course Telstra, now offer some plans without excessive cancellation fees. So,
Fresh really is best.
next up, it's Steve, who's been simmering over a problem with the ASKO cooktop that he bought, complete with a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, 2 years ago.
ASKO!
Built to last. For a couple of years.
Now, there were some warning signs about Steve's cooktop. For a start, ASKO named the model after the most famous dystopia of all time.
It's all good initially, but after a while, in the middle of cooking, after about 5 or 10 minutes, the gas would suddenly cut out.
But when Steve brought this to ASKO's attention,
We were told that it was our fault for using a flat-bottomed saucepan on a wok burner.
Steve sensed that ASKO was trying to make him pay for a repair by relying on exceptions in their warranty for misuse and for use that's contrary to written instructions. Manufacturer warranties tend to use expressions like that, which, funnily enough, tend to work in favour of manufacturers. But the consumer guarantee of acceptable quality, which includes being reasonably durable, uses a different expression, because funnily enough, the consumer law tends to work more in favour of the consumer. It says damage by abnormal use isn't covered. So, to dodge the consumer guarantee, a seller has to prove abnormal use. Now, the name wok burner does suggest that you'd mainly use it with, well, a wok. But does using a slightly different shaped pan count as abnormal use? Steve didn't think so, and we agree. It might be different if ASKO went out of its way to tell customers that wok burners are wok only, but
Nowhere does it say that it's actually possible to damage the unit if you use certain, pots and stuff like that.
other cooktop makers give specific advice against using wok burners with other pans. But ASKO didn't, even though their user manual is very specific about all sorts of things.
The appliance is not suitable for space heating.
Now you tell me.
The user manual also covers off other very normal uses like
Never flambe under an extractor hood.
Now you tell me.
and
Do not warm closed tins. A build-up of pressure will cause tins to explode.
You're no fun, ASKO.
You might get injured or scalded.
But it's the only meal I know how to cook.
So I can't flambe this tin under my range hood in space? Houston, we have a flambe problem.
so Steve pushed back.
Dear ASKO,
To not use the device as a worktop.
That is an abnormal use. But Steve eventually got ASKO to back down.
This cooktop has been repaired under manufacturer's warranty.
But they say
A refund or a replacement is not warranted in this case.
Steve thought differently.
we think that is a major problem, and we would never have bought this unit had we known about that.
But in the end, he decided to accept the replacement, which sounds like a sensible outcome to us. Because even though under the consumer law, consumers can insist on a refund rather than a replacement if there's a major failure, taking a case to a tribunal to push that point requires a lot of time and effort, and there's always the risk that you might not win. Anyway, now Steve's got his replacement cooktop.
I've got smaller fish to fry. Actually, I might flambe it.
Steve, no! Oh dear. Until next time, cook safe and good night.